Hello everyone, welcome to another video about Entity Framwework Core 3.1 Oracle database. If you watch my first two videos, I downloaded the Oracle database 12.2 and it comes with a free version of SQL Developer, and this is what I'm using as a database. And for Visual Studio, I'm using Visual Studio 2019, which is Community Edition. Okay, let's dive into our subject, Dapper. As I said, we need to implement Dapper, but here this model context is kind of hard-coded inside the startup class, and we need to implement the help of interfaces. We need to decouple a little bit of what's going on in here. So going back to the controller, we see that a lot of these statements can be extracted into a data repository, but this data repository needs to implement an interface. So let's create another folder called data. I'm going to call it data, and inside the data we're going to add an interface, and we're going to call this interface iRepository. Okay, and we're going to make this public, interface iRepository. And we have a lot of objects. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 objects, and I'm going to implement only for regions and countries the interface. For the rest are kind of the same. I want you to get the idea. So I'm going to type the interface functions. So this is going to return all countries. So control dot, we need to import the models, countries, find country, string ID, countries, add country, countries, update country, and remove country. Okay, so we're going to do the same for regions. So I'm going to copy and paste the code that I have already for regions. So this is for countries, this is for regions. And next I'm going to implement and make another class, data repository entity framework, that is going to implement these functions. Add another class, data repository entity framework, and this is going to implement a repository. So control dot, implement the interface, and going back to the countries controller, we see that it's using the model context, so we're going to take this out of here. So we're going to take this and put it to the repository. Okay. Context. We need a private variable. Private. You don't need context. Okay. This is going to be our repository for Entity Framework Core. When I start all those statements, and in here add country, DB countries, add country, DB save changes, return country. Region, kind of the same thing. Regions, add region, DB save changes, return region, sorry. Add region. So did I do a mistake here? Countries. Add region. I made a mistake here. Region. Update region is a mistake. Region. Add region. The region. Okay. Find countries. Countries. This is gonna be return the database countries list. Regions the same. Trace regions list. Return. Okay. Find region, find country, find region, find country, find country. Maybe countries. First or default. Country ID equal ID. Passed in parameter right here. Return country. Okay, find the region. Find the region is kind of the same code. I'm gonna copy and paste the same code over here. Regions, remove country. Let's see if we implemented everything. Okay, remove country, not implemented. Remove country. Remove country. We first need to find the country. Country is country. Find country ID. So we call this function. We already have this function. We're gonna call it in here. It's the same code. The code repeats. With countries. Remove repository, save changes, return. This is the void, so it's return. The same thing for region, remove region, regions, region, find region. So we're gonna call this method find region, repository, remove region, repository, save changes, and return. Okay, so far so good. We have two more methods, update country and update region. So for this one I want to copy and paste the code, make it faster. Update country and update region. Okay, so far so good. Alright, I made a change from country to region, so now the error went away. Next thing we need to do is we need to register this repository, register the service. So we need to register the service. Services, asynchron, by repository. You see the interface, and then the class that implements this is the data repository F. Data repository F. Let's see what is missing. Control dot. We need to add the namespace. And next we need to inject the data repository into the countries controller and regions controller. So let's go to the countries controller and remove this. Control dot. Copy, control paste. Alright, and context countries. We can remove the await. Context countries, find country. ID. So those two statements were moved into the data repository. Next is context regions. So next, HTTP post context add countries, add country, and we have moved this into our data repository, so we're not making any use of this. Shift delete. Next is edit, countries edit, countries find async, countries context find country by ID, and the regions. The next one is countries edit post method, update country. We don't need this. Countries exist not found. And here we have regions. Find country. And country of ID. don't need this. Since we moved this into our data repository, so we don't need this over here. We don't need for now the await keyword. And delete confirmed. Countries exist. So let me remove this. If countries exist of ID, countries exist, context, remove country of ID. And next one, the last line is return direct to action name of index. And the last method, remove this, if context countries, context find country of ID not equal null, return true, else return false. We actually don't need these parentheses. Okay, so we need to do the same thing for regions controller. Going here, regions controller, I repository context control dot. So we need to inject that over here, and we're gonna change all these functions to list. Details regions. Load this. Create. Add regions. Region. Remove this. Re-edit. Find region. Find region. Update region. Update region. And delete. Context. Find region. ID. And delete confirmed. For the last two ones, I'm going to copy and paste the code to go a bit faster. So this is the code for delete confirmed. Okay, so far so good. Okay, let's give it a try and build a solution. Okay, no errors. Let's run. Oh, okay, we have an error. Some services are not able to be constructed while validating the descriptor because the lifetime cannot consume scope service. Okay, so we made an error somewhere. Let's see. Oh, I think this is scoped. Scoped. Sorry about that. Let's try again. Okay, so we right now we're using the data repository EF, the one that we refactored. So let's see regions. We made changes for region and countries. Okay, let's try to edit. Europe, save. Countries, Argentina, edit, Argentina. My country, save. Okay, edit, Argentina, save. Let's try to add country ID, Hungary, country name, Hungary, region ID 3. See if we find Hungary. Oh, there it is, Hungary. Yeah. Hungary 4, save. Okay, so it works pretty good. Okay, let's stop the program. Next, we are going to implement the Dapper data repository because this is what we're talking about in this lesson. So what is Dapper? Dapper is an object relational mapping. It's a micro ORM from what I understand, developed by Stack Overflow. And it has these features: speed, high performance, your lines of codes. It operates directly in IDB connection, and we're going to use this one to implement Dapper in our data repository. So let's go to the code and inside the data, add a new class. And we're going to call this data repository Dapper. Okay. And this one, unlike data repository entity framework, it's not going to use the data repository. It's not going to use the database context created by entity framework core. And this one is going to use the IDB connection. And we forgot to go to packages, dependencies, menu, imagine you get packages. We need to import Dapper. Okay, so let's install this, the latest version. Install. Okay. Alright, so let's close out of this. Control dot. System data. So data repository is going to implement iRepository. It's going to implement the interface that we created. Okay, we need a constructor. Repository, configuration, control dot. Okay, and we need to put this one inside the class. Sorry about it. So this db equal Oracle connection configuration, get connection string of F. So if we're looking into the app settings, this is our connection string right here. That connects to our Oracle database, connects to this. Going back to the repository. Oracle connection. So I forgot to add it using Dapper. Dot Oracle Managed into the namespace. Oracle Managed Data Access Client works with Oracle Connection, and now we're going to implement control dot, implement the interface. Let's see, add region, countries, find country, find region. Okay, this looks good. Okay, so we're going to implement add country. So here we have our SQL. Insert into HR countries, country ID, country name, region ID, space, string concatenated with values, country ID, country name, region ID. Are affected rows. Only in case you need this variable, otherwise you just call the execute method on Dapper, and here we pass the object. This object is this one that we need to add and return the country. And if you're wondering why I'm passing the whole object and not the parameters, you can write this in a different way. You can put it like this: new, and open parentheses. Okay, country dot country ID, country dot country name, country dot region ID. So this is the same. This is the same with what I written before. Tab it a little bit to the right. So this is the same with just writing instead of this whole new object. This is the same with writing just country, just passing the object country. So just the same for the region. So this is a short notation for passing parameters. You don't have to specify each one. Let's continue with add region. So var SQL equal insert into HR regions, region ID, region name, values, region ID, region name. Okay, affected rows equal the execute SQL region. We pass in the region, we pass in this object, and then we return okay. Countries, this is very easy to do. var SQL equal select star from HR countries are countries Dapper countries to list countries. Okay, for the next one I'm going to copy and paste the code that I already have for find country. I'm going to copy and paste this one. So the SQL contains a parameter, and this is how we pass a parameter when we call Dapper query, and this is the template. Our object is countries, new country ID equal ID, and this is the ID that's here, and then this is the parameter that's passed to the query. So this one is going to be injected over here into the country ID. Okay, I added an extra comment here. So use parameterized query. Never use something like this. Never use. If you use this, then you'll be open to SQL injection. They compromise your database. So go back. Let's go back to where it was. Okay, so let's move on to, I added a comment here, so remember better, never use string concatenation. Let's go to find the region. Let's move these regions, let's move it back above here, so they're kind of this. And let me copy the code. Find regions. Okay, so this is kind of the same thing with countries. So this one will returns all regions. And this one returns all countries. Okay, find region. And region, copy paste this code. Shift delete. Find the country. Find the region. Find country. Let me move this code. This comment above. Shift delete. Okay, this is better. Okay. Remove country, remove region. Remove country. Remove region. Oops, sorry. Okay, update country and update region. Update country. And then update region. So there is no need to use this statement using. So I've seen some people do this. So there is no need to be using this statement because we had a comment. Dapper will automatically open and close and dispose the connection for you. So no need to use this. So going back, Shift Tab. Okay, so far good. Okay, so let's try to run the program and see where we are with this. Running the program. Okay, regions, countries, ranges, they're not showing up. Let's see what What is the problem? Let's put a breakpoint. Let's put a breakpoint on countries. Let's put a breakpoint countries. Countries. Okay. Well, there's no data in the object. 27 countries. Let's see. 27 countries. Yep, it picks up 27 objects, but there's no, all the fields are null. Okay, let's see why is that. I think it's because of mapping. It needs correct mapping. Let me stop this. So if we go to regions object or countries object, we see that the properties country ID, country name, region ID are different than country ID. It's with capital country ID, country name. They're different than country ID. This is lowercase letters, so the naming is different. So we need some kind of a mapping between these two. This is the reason why these fields were not populated. So in order to fix the issue, we need to do the following. We need to add a data descriptor. Description. Country ID. So we add an attribute. Component of description. So we need an attribute, a description to match the field in the database, and then we're going to do the mapping. So let's use here using system component model and remove. Alright, so we need to do the same thing here. Description. Country. Copy. Paste. And we need to do the same thing for region. Region ID. Control dot system component model. Region name. Okay, and in data repository Dapper, we need to add the following function over here. We copy and paste this function. Copy, control paste. Okay, so we're using reflection to do the mapping between column name and property name of region. So we added the description, but we need the mapping, and this is going to do the mapping. Dapper SQL mapper set type map region, and this is the object that's mapping these two together, and we're going to call the function execute mapping here in the constructor, and let's control dot. Okay, and we need to generate these functions too. I'm going to copy it. Function. Control dot. Okay, info. Control dot. System reflection. Okay, so this code needed to be added from execute mapping and get description attribute. These two, they need to be added in order for the mapping between attributes, the property of the object and column name. So this column name is here. So let's build again, build solution. Okay, let's give it a run. Regions. Okay, so it's populated regions, countries. Let's see. We'll step through. Step over. Okay, so the objects are populated this time around. Alright. Let's stop the solution. Remove this breakpoint from here. So once again, this is the code for mapping. So I kind of like indented a little bit for you to copy the code. So this is the code for it does the mapping. Okay, so let's go into startup class and see if everything is tied together. This is, let's run it again. Countries. Let's see if we edit Argentina 3. Okay, it's updating details. Back to the list, Canada, edit, Canada 100. Okay, so it's working. Let's add Hungary. Let's we added Hungary last time. Let's try to delete it. Delete. Okay, so we deleted Hungary. Let's create again Hungary. Oh, let's check the database to see if Hungary is there. Okay, Hungary is gone. Let's add it together. Let's add it again. Hungary. Okay. Hungary is here again. Let's see if it added to the database. There it is. It's been added. So it seems to working. So this time around, we're using the data repository Dapper, the one that we just created. So this is the power of interfaces. Using this iRepository interface, we switch on the fly between data repository entity framework core that's using the model context, the one generated by the entity framework, and the one we just wrote for using SQL statements, data repository Dapper. So this is how we implemented both using the power of interfaces. Thanks for watching.